I thought I would do a video on how basically we got to this spot of where we're at. So basically, I'm 30 years old. I live in Minnesota, if you can't tell by the accent. And my husband and I have been married for 6 years, and he's also 30. We've been together for 10 years. We first started to try to have a baby about 5 years ago. After a couple of months, it didn't work, and so my sister had said, you know, you might as well go and get looked at. So we did. And I think it was just basically I talked to my OBGYN, who was also an infertility doctor as well. So we did that, and we actually did a couple of rounds. We did 3 rounds of IUIs, or artificial. So we did 3 of those. Nothing happened. My cycle is very exact, every 28 days. And she was concerned that there was something else. So of course she had asked me some questions. So then September of that year of 2008, yes, 2008, I went in for my first laparoscopy. So that is just the, they don't cut you open, it's just the little like wand things inside of you. So we did that. When she did that, she found out that she discovered that I had stage 4 endometriosis, which was, she was pretty much blown away by that because of the fact that I didn't have any pain. It was so severe and so everywhere that she just was very surprised at how much it was not painful for me. So we scheduled then another surgery to get all of that removed. So then the end of October or beginning of November of 2008, something like that, I had a laparotomy. And a laparotomy is basically I have an incision, yeah, it's about yay big, along my pelvic bone, as if I was having a C-section, so like a C-section cut basically. So I have that along my pelvis, and so she went in, removed as much endometriosis as she could, then said that my uterus looked great, blah, blah, blah. So then we did 2 more rounds of IUIs after that, one of which was Follistim. So I know that Follistim is one of the drugs that they use for IVF. So at least I've done it before, and I had pretty good amount. I don't even remember how many eggs or follicles I had, probably like 8 or something like that. And I don't think it's as I was clearly not on so many drugs as you would be with IVF. So I'm trying to think of what else. So did 2 rounds of that. Basically took a year off. My husband had gone to China for 2 weeks. So we took that time off and then ended up actually taking off the entire year. 2010 we took off. And what I mean by that is we were not doing any type of fertility treatments whatsoever. And so then 2011, beginning of May actually, we went to the Center for Reproductive Medicine here in Minnesota and met with Dr. Malo. And basically he had said, since it had been a couple of years, that he wanted me to get another HSG, which is the dye that they hypo something gram, I don't know, but they shoot dye into your tubes so that they can see are they blocked, blah, blah, blah. So we're like, okay, sounds good. I quit smoking. And then at the end of May, that Labor Day, Memorial Day, his brother got married. My husband's brother got married, and actually it was Memorial Day. And then that Tuesday after Memorial Day, my dad passed away. So needless to say, I started smoking again. So that was kind of difficult. But then after that point, it was like, okay, well, life is too short. I can't just not, go about it without, we basically just needed a plan in place. So I got the HSG done. It showed that one tube was blocked, the other tube was dilated, which what they want to do is they wanted to close those off then, because then what ends up happening is that the fluid will leak down into the uterus and cause a hostile environment in the uterus, which we don't want if we're going to go do IVF. So end of September or something like that, last year, 2011, is when I got my tubes tied. She went in and she was thinking maybe she could maybe save one, depending on what they look like. Excuse me. Or perhaps even whatever the case may be. Anyways, she couldn't save them. She's even talked about maybe taking them out, but all she had to do was just tie them off. So that's what we have done since then, is we just have been hanging out. We then decided last year, 2011 again, that we would do IVF. Well, we needed to make some huge financial sacrifices and decisions in order to do so. So we did. We are, needless to say, debt-free. And so we had just started to save for that. I started a new job in May of this year, and so I started to put money into an HSA account. Huge amount of money being taken out of my paycheck each pay period, but completely worth it. So then, like I had said in my first video, that I started not IVF, acupuncture a couple weeks ago, so about a month and a half ago-ish, and did herbs and such. So wanted to increase blood flow into that region, and it's working so far. So plan is then, like I said in my second video, that when I get my period again, I'll start taking birth control pills. I'll call them up, let them know, got to go in for some blood work, whatever. And then, I don't know, I have the thing right there, but, and then the 17th of December, I go in for a, the trial transfer. That's what I didn't know. And then also some sort of a ultrasound. There was a specific name for it, but I'm not sure. Actually, why don't I just... There's so much paperwork. It's ridiculous. Anyways, I don't know where it is. So, yeah, I don't know where it is. It's amongst here, and I'm not going to sit and bother with that. But, so anyways, we've got some, it's busy going forward, but we have made the decision not to tell people when we're starting everything. My sister knows. I don't know if I'll necessarily tell her when we start treatments and such, or when it's actually going to go in. Those kinds of things his mom does not want to know. My mom is a loudmouth, so I just wouldn't tell her. So we've decided not to tell people, and the only reason being is, sure, if it doesn't work, blah, blah. However, we will never get the chance to be able to say to our friends, guess what, we're pregnant. We'll never have that, ever, 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 unless we just keep our mouth shut. So we've decided to just keep our mouth shut. And so that's what we're going to do. And his mom doesn't want to know, just because she won't be able to sleep and stuff. But Colin goes in next Thursday for his semen analysis, which the ones that he's done before, I don't know how many he's done before, 2 or 3 or something like that. He's whatever, they're super sperm, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So we're fine with there, so we don't have to do ICSI or anything like that. However, on my last video, I had talked about genetic testing. It's $100, no big deal. However, with this process, you kind of do feel a little bit like, not like God, but you know, you are, it's very scientific, very scientific. So by opting to do the genetic testing, it feels like it's just even more scientific. And I mean, really, it's not the decision yet of what we would do with the embryos if something were to come up. I don't know. I have no idea. So it'd just be interesting to see and hear what other people have done and not done or whatever. So anyways, that's just a bit about me and our journey. So anyways, we'll be starting this and going through it. And I've just really enjoyed coming on here and searching and looking. And I like to, it's not stalkery, but I just like to, I really hope and I feel for those that have to do this process. And I like to hear why also, just because sometimes you feel really alone in this entire process. And from searching YouTube, I didn't find any women who had stage 4 endometriosis because they needed their tubes tied. So then I thought, you know what, I need to be on here and say that. So, and be an advocate for those that are. So, any questions that you have, please just feel free to, I think you just comment. I don't know, I've never done this before. So clearly I just have my dog on the videos or on my channel, but so, thank you, and I will continue to update as much as I can and hopefully in better lighting. Thanks so much. Have a great night.